Welcome back to Hobby Jogger Elite, or welcome for the first time if this is your first time with the channel. My name's Connor and it is race week for me, so quite the time to be joining our journey here if it is your first time. But we've been training hard for 15-16 weeks straight now. Just wrapped up my second taper week, entering race week officially. Today is Sunday. It is the day of the New York City Marathon, which I just got done watching for a little bit, so getting me very pumped up for the marathon that I will be racing in just 7 days from the time of recording this. If you're watching this as it comes out, I am likely out there running right now. So today, instead of the usual sort of breakdown that we do on a weekly basis with the marathon training, sort of going through what I did every day, going through, quality sessions, workouts that I did, we're going to talk race strategy a little bit, as it is the beginning of the end here, which is really only the beginning of the beginning, because race day is what it's all leading up to, what it's all about. And I've been trying out different things when it comes to training in general, training philosophies, different types of workouts, but also just like the physical things I have used in preparation for race day, from like nutrition to gear to shoes, all of it. We're going to talk today about my race day preparation, my strategy, my plan in general when it comes to what I want to be able to do on Sunday, November 12th for my marathon. So I'm going to start first here with the gear, which is something I like to review, talk about on the channel, whether that's actual running gear, clothing, apparel, shoes, all that good stuff. I've tried a lot of new and different things this time around, pretty much since my last marathon. Just tried to identify things that can be streamlined, potential deficiencies in gear that can just make my experience out on the run on race day that much easier and seamless for me. Using what worked, replacing what did not. So I guess we'll go from top down. When it comes to my singlet, I've talked about this singlet in the past, or like tank top, however you want to refer to it. I still believe to this day that Lululemon makes the absolute best race singlets, especially when it comes to lightweight breathability. They make clothing that just feels like it disappears on your body and you forget you're wearing anything. So I am wearing a Lululemon Fast and Free singlet. They make like a couple different versions of it. I think this one is called like the Breathe. I'm usually buying like past season items from Lululemon because I can't justify always buying their full price items. Relatively inexpensive on sale singlet when it comes to sort of race day gear. A lot of other singlets with other brands, they're $50 to $100 even. And I think, I've tried so many different brand singlets and I think these are the absolute best. They do run a little bit long. I am pretty much a medium when it comes to tops and bottoms, but a small actually fits me a lot better when it comes to the Lululemon singlet. So this is a size small, nice orange color. Absolutely love their singlets, as good as it gets for race day. So raced in one of these last year, got a smaller one for this year to dial in the fit a bit more. So we're going with the Lululemon Fast and Free singlet. The only other thing that really leaves is the discussion of my bottoms, which if you have followed along with the channel or discovered my channel at all, it might be because of my videos on half tights, which I'm very passionate about, always looking for the best half tights out there. And two particular pairs I've tried out in recent months have stood out to replace my previous favorites, which were the Tracksmith Reggie tights. That is, of course, the Super Beam tights, 7 pocket tights from Bandit Running, which are definitely top contention. Despite all odds, I managed to find a pair of these that were not at full price, and since I've been testing them, they're by far one of the most comfortable, lightweight, disappear on your body pieces of running apparel I've tried. I got the Soar running marathon speed shorts, everybody. I never thought I would get my hands on a pair of these. I found them on a Canadian website that sells them for cheaper, managed to get free shipping and a discount on them. So instead of paying the almost $200 price, I got these for way, way, way cheaper than that. And let me tell you, they are so incredibly comfortable. They are thin. They, again, disappear on your body, but have like a light amount of compression as well. So it weirdly, like I've been running in like 30 to 40 degree temperature in these just to simulate what it might potentially be on race day. They keep me warm enough, I think, with some of that compression. Storage is solid, has, you know, 2 loops in the front, has a nice drawstring, has a nice big pocket in the back. I never thought I'd be talking about the Soar Marathon Speed Shorts at this point. And yeah, they're definitely the lightest weight piece of clothing I own, but I think it's going to be a bit of a game time decision. But these are the 2 contenders right now. I've run a lot of my long runs in these. I've only run 1 long run in these, and I feel like just knowing what these will give me at 22 plus miles that I've experienced them at on a long run use case, I might just roll with the Bandit Super Beam 7 pocket half tights. But yeah, the Soar Marathon Speed Shorts, I get why people freak out about them. They are good. So those are my picks for clothing. When it comes to footwear, I tested out a couple other super shoes since my last marathon where I wore the Alphafly version 1s. I tried the Saucony Endorphin Pro 3 as well as the Adios Pro 3 from Adidas, and we are sticking with the Alphaflys. These are a brand new pair of Alphafly version 1s. They're my last pair of Alphafly version 1s, brand new, that I have. I have another pair, an orange pair, that I might be moving to more of like a training companion if this is going to be my sole race day shoe. I've done the best long runs I've ever done in the Alphaflys this training block and have felt absolutely amazing in them. So again, stick with what I know. Alphafly version 1 still can't be beat in my eyes for race day picks. Not to say that the Pro 3 for Saucony and for Adidas aren't really solid, but they haven't quite surpassed this for me yet. So we're gonna roll in the Alphafly 1s. In terms of nutrition, primarily gonna be having Huma Plus gels. That's what I've been using all block. Haven't had a single issue in terms of like stomach discomfort, stomach pain with them. Gonna be primarily having the lemon and limes flavor and the berries and pomegranate flavor, because the lemon and limes actually have more grams of carbs per gel in them, and these generally have the least amount of fiber in them because it is like a whole foods based gel. Sometimes you run into issues with fiber in these, and the last thing you want to do is be pumping your system with fiber out on the run. These each only have 1 gram of fiber. I think these have 2, but the extra carbs, it's worth it in my eyes. And these are 2 of my favorite flavors. So going to be having 1 of these and revolving back and forth between caffeinated and non-caffeinated, because the lemon lime is caffeinated. These are not. Every other time, have a gel every 4 miles, have one right at the start. So by the time I hit, I guess, 20 miles, I will have had 6 gels. Hopefully I can stomach another one somewhere between 20 and 26 miles to make sure I have a total of 7, even 8 gels potentially. Been trying and practicing with just filling myself up with carbs on these long runs. Have been very successful, averaging at times between 75 and 85 grams of carbs per hour, which I've never been able to do comfortably before. So been really happy about that. I am also a handheld water bottle guy when it comes to my marathons. Every single marathon I've raced, I've carried a handheld bottle. I've tried a lot of different ones, from soft flask ones to not soft ones, and I really, really like the Amphipod bottle. It is 20 full fluid ounces in terms of capacity, and then I buy this little Mageddon thing on Amazon. You get like 2 of these straps, which I also have on this Nathan Speed Draw one, which is 16 ounces. You get 2 for like $8, and it's just a much more streamlined fit. You can sort of run. It doesn't jiggle around at all. It's better than that huge fabric-y hand strap thing, in my opinion. Yeah, this is really work. So I plan on taking the Skratch super high carb mixture in here to sort of supplement some more carb intake, and then pick up some water on the race course as well. Plan right now is to have one of these other bottles filled with a few servings of that Skratch super high carb, and have my fiance Lauren hand it to me at the halfway point of the race, which should be accessible for her. But if for some reason she's not there in time, or if we fumbled the bottle or whatever, I'm gonna carry at least 1 or 2 extra gels with me just in case I can't get my hands on that, and try to get in as much water from the course aid stations as possible. But yeah, when it comes to fueling, Scratch super high carb in the bottle, and every 4 miles a Huma Plus gel. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward, lots of sodium, lots of carbs. I'm a heavy sweater. I need more carbs according to every single carb calculator I have used when it comes to predicting what I need throughout a marathon. So this is the plan that works for me. I encourage you to try your own out. But yeah, but I found out this training block, carbs are definitely king. So when it comes to gear, shoes, nutrition, that is what I have so far. So that just leaves the actual running. I've tried not to look at the forecast for next weekend at all because I never get good weather. If you remember earlier in this training block, I literally had my tune-up half marathon canceled because of bad weather and a terrible hurricane that came through. Last year's marathon was plagued by really pesky high winds the whole entire time. Otherwise, the weather was decent. Marathon before that was pretty much my only like perfect marathon conditions type of race day. And the one before that, it went from being 40 degrees the week before to 85 degrees on race morning, and they still put on the race. So haven't had a ton of luck when it comes to that, but I don't really care at this point. I enjoy running. I'm going to give it all that I have, adjust efforts based on whatever might come, but hopefully things look good next weekend. I've trained in high winds, terrible rain, this training block for my long run workout, so I feel prepared. And yeah, I'm not gonna try to control what can't be controlled. But when it comes to running, I've been really intentional about not focusing as much, or at least trying not to focus as much on the numbers when it comes to this training block. I've been trying to not look at my watch as much as possible when it comes to easy runs, for instance. Just sort of like put it under my sleeve, go out and run the routes that I always run. I know how long they're gonna be, and just sort of look at what I ran afterward. When it comes to my long run workouts and speed workouts in general, whether those are like top end VO2 max stuff, threshold workouts, marathon pace based stuff, I've converted that mindset of pace to efforts. So the numbers, depending on the day, depending on how I've felt and dealt with fatigue, that kind of stuff, have varied a little bit from workout to workout on a weekly basis. But for the most part, when it comes to my marathon effort, pretty much from all the way back in July to now, the beginning of November, all of my marathon effort workouts were, again, I've just sort of run them by feel and tried to find like a smooth, steady pace that doesn't feel like I'm digging very deep, but also still like putting a solid effort forth that I can hold for as long as I can with my knowledge of what that feels like. In my previous 3 marathons, those paces have fallen between like 6:30 a mile and 6:40 a mile, sort of that like 10-second spectrum there. And obviously, as the weather has cooled down, as I've progressed in this training block, they have trended more towards like the low 6:30s. All of this to say, when it comes to my racing strategy, my pacing strategy, I definitely still have that like sub 3 marathon in the back of my mind, but I'm so tired of just the term sub 3 hour marathon that I don't care anymore. I just want to run a marathon where I put my best effort forward and execute as well as possible while enjoying the race itself, because again, that's why I'm doing this. That's what this is all about. That's why I train for 9 to 11 hours, weeks and weeks on end, through the hot end of the summer up to when it gets cold through the winter. Like, I'm not doing all of that because of some arbitrary hour amount that I want to break. And it's taken a long time for me to realize that that's not what matters. What matters is enjoying the process and like pushing myself forward, seeing what kind of progress I can make by virtue of like my own effort and discipline on a regular basis. And race day is not a time to treat it like it's life or death if you don't hit this specific number. I feel like it's a time to celebrate all the hard work you just did for however long you trained, 12 to 18 weeks. And that's what I want to treat it as this time. Yes, I have a strategy for fueling and I'm thinking about things in an intentional way, but at the same time, like, life is too short not to be enjoying these races that I'm doing. So I'm going to run it by feel. I'm going to go out conservatively because I don't want to like burn, you know, the match at both ends right away. Maybe I find myself at 6:45 a mile for the first mile. Maybe I'm feeling really good and it's sub 6:40. Maybe I'm already in the low 6:30s for that opening mile. Whatever it feels like as I'm getting started is gonna be what it's gonna be. Overall, I still want to do my very best, and based on the fitness that I have accumulated throughout this training block and based on the paces that have sort of correlated with my running by feel, my effort level, I feel like I am in good enough shape to PB by quite a bit. This is easily the best shape I have ever been in. I would be happy with just a personal best. I would be happy with sub 3. I'd be happy with something closer to 2:55. When it comes to like predictions based on workouts I've done, based on my current fitness, things are pointing towards the lower end of that. But again, I don't want numbers to be like too much of a motivator here, because when it's all said and done, I don't think I'm going to be thinking about the numbers throughout my running journey. I'm going to be thinking about the memories and the experiences that I had with that. So that is my goal. Run it by feel. Hopefully that matches what I've been doing and my hard work can pay off. And maybe because all of these races are based on time-based qualifiers, like the majors, for instance, that correlates with a result that can get me into some of those races, which I really want to experience, some of those big city races in the near and far future. If it doesn't, I've had a great training block. And race day, again, is just a celebration of all that hard work, and hopefully it pays off on that one single day. So that's my pacing strategy, which isn't really a precise strategy. Just sort of continue to run it by feel. Hopefully we get a good day, good conditions, you know, a solid group of people out there on the run. And we'll see what happens. We'll roll through and hopefully all goes to plan. Otherwise, that is pretty much everything. I had some solid workouts to close out this past week with a nice VO2 max workout, a nice last long run workout, very similar to what I've been doing already, but all the work is done. The hay is in the barn, as they say. I have a bit of a tune-up run this week, and then from there, it's just resting up, eating a lot, carbing up, hopefully getting to race day in one piece, happy, healthy, well-rested, and we'll see what happens Sunday, November 12th. Let me know if you have any questions about the training. Definitely going to make some videos post-marathon about this training block, regardless of what happens, how things went on race day. And yeah, let me know. Let me know if you have any questions about anything else. From the training block, my gear, my nutrition choices, anything at all. Otherwise, we will catch up post-race. 4th marathon will hopefully be in the books next time I speak to you on this channel. Peace.